Is anything wrong, gentlemen? I heard a noise. No, there's nothing wrong. You can take that back. We're finished with it. Well, what are you looking at? I don't see why we have to behave like children here. Nor do I. We have responsibility. This is a remarkable thing about democracy, that we are what is the word, notified. That we are notified by mail to come down to this place and decide on the guilt of or innocent of a man. Of a man we have known before. We have nothing to gain or lose by our verdict. This is one of those reasons why we are strong. We should not make it a personal thing. Thank you very much. Why do you thank me? We forget. It's good to be reminded. I'm glad that we are going to be civilized about this. Well, we're still nowhere. No, we're somewhere. Or getting there, maybe. Maybe. Who's got an idea? I think maybe we should try another vote. Mr. Foreman? It's alright with me. Anybody doesn't want to vote? Let's vote. Yes, vote. So, alright. Let's do it. I want an open ballot. Let's call out our votes. I want to know who stands where. That sounds fair. Anyone object? Alright, I'll call off our jury numbers. I vote guilty. Number 2, not guilty. 3, guilty. 4, guilty. 5, not guilty. 6, not guilty. 7, guilty. 8, not guilty. 9, not guilty. 10, not guilty. 11, not guilty. 12, guilty. That's 6 to 6. I'll tell you something. The crime is being committed right in this room. The vote is 6 to 6. I'm ready to walk into that court right now and declare a hung jury. There's no point in this going on anymore. I'd like to know why you changed your mind, and why you changed yours, and why you did. There are 6 men here who think that we may be turning a murderer loose in the streets. Emotion won't do. Why? It would seem that the old man did not see the boy run downstairs. I do not think it likely that the old man heard someone scream, "I'm going to kill you." The old men dream. And if the boy did scream that he was going to kill, then we would have the authority of this man to prove that it might not really mean he was going to kill. Why don't we take it into the judge and let the kid take his chances with 12 other guys? 6 to 6. I don't think we'll ever agree on anything. It's got to be unanimous, or we're never going to convince him. At first I was alone. Now 5 others agree. There is a doubt. You can't ever convince me that there is a doubt, because I know there isn't no doubt. I'll tell you what, maybe we are a hung jury. It happens sometimes. We are not going to be a hung jury, but we are right now a perfect balance. Let's take it into the judge. If there is a reasonable doubt, I don't see it. The doubt is there in my mind. Maybe we should vote. What do you mean vote? Not again. I still want to know. Vote on what? Are we or aren't we a hung jury? You mean that we vote yes, we are a hung jury, or no, we are not a hung jury? That's what I was thinking of. We can't even agree about whether or not the window should be open. Let's make it a majority vote. The majority wins. If 7 or more of us vote yes, that we are a hung jury, then we take it into the judge and tell him that we are a hung jury. Right. And if 7 or more of us vote no, that means we aren't a hung jury, and we go on discussing it. That doesn't seem quite right to me. It's the only solution. I agree. It's the only way. Anything to end this. We agreed then? 7 or more votes yes, we'll take it into the judge. Let's call our votes out. I vote yes, we're a hung jury. 2, no. 3, yes. 4, yes. 5, no. 6, no. 7, yes. 8, no. 9, no. 10, yes. 11? No. 12? Yes. Oh, no. It's 6-6. We can't even get a majority to decide whether or not we're a hung jury. I went along with the majority vote on this question. I didn't agree with voting that way. Not really. I still don't. So I'm changing my vote. I say no, we are not a hung jury. I believe that the boy is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. There are some things I want to find out from those gentlemen that changed their minds. Then we aren't a hung jury, so we go on. Good, we go on. Why did you change your mind? He seems so sure that he has made a number of good points, while he only gets mad and insults everybody. Does the anger and the insult change the guilt of the boy? He did do it. Are you going to turn a murderer loose because one of the jurors gets angry, then he thinks a murderer is being turned loose? That's true. There is a doubt. I don't think so. The track is straight in front of the window. Let's take that point. So the L train would have made a low rumbling noise. All trains screech when they go through around curves, so the old man could have heard a scream, which is high pitch, and it is a tenement, and they have thin walls. Good. That's it. And what if the old man was wrong about the time it took him to get to the door, right about whom he saw? Please remember that there weren't any fingerprints on the knife, and it's summer, so gloves don't seem unlikely. Now I want you to listen to this man. He's got the goods. And it might have taken a few seconds to get a handkerchief out and wipe the fingerprints away. This is a point. Why don't we just time this one to see? What are we timing? Yes, let's be exact, please. I'm saying that the old man downstairs might have been wrong about how long it took him to get to the door, but that he was right about whom he saw running downstairs. Now, it may have been taken that the murderer about 39 seconds to wipe away all the fingerprints and get down to the stairs to the place where the old man saw him. The boy, that is. That is right. We reconstructed the old man getting out of bed and going to the door, and we timed that. Now let's reconstruct the actual crime as well as we can reconstruct it. I think a murderer could use up 30 or 40 seconds pretty easily at that point. Let's reconstruct the killing. Yes, let's. Here, you do the stabbing. No, I'll do it. Why don't you be the one that gets stabbed? You're younger than I am. And don't forget, you take 1 second to fall. He was found on his side, his right side. So fall and roll onto your right side. If someone hates another person enough to kill them, don't you think that's reasonable to suppose that the murderer would look at the victim for a second or two? Divorce yourself from this particular case. It's just human nature. Yes, it seems reasonable. Hey, wait a minute. He falls and he ends on his right side. The father did, but stabbing someone isn't like shooting them. Even when it's right in the heart, the father would have worked around for a few seconds, lying there on the floor, withering maybe. That's quite possible. There would have been enough oxygen in the system to carry him for 2 or 3 seconds, I should think. Wouldn't the father have cried out? Maybe the kid held his mouth. That also seems possible. Also, there's another point we might bring out. Anyone who's clear enough mentally to wipe the fingerprints away after murdering someone, well, this person is also clear enough mentally to look about the apartment or any room, in this case, to see if there were any other clues. It would just be for a second or two, I should think, but still. He would look around. This gets better and better. We're trying to make it clear. One doesn't talk about quality when murder is involved. Well, let's do it. About this on the fingerprints, the kid wiped the fingerprints off the knife. Well, what about the doorknob? If I saw a man coming into my home, a man that hated me, and if he was wiping the doorknob with a handkerchief as he came in, it would give me an uneasy feeling. So the doorknobs must have been wiped after the killing. and this too would take some time. You timed the last one, why don't you time this one too, alright? Stamp your foot when you want me to start. I want the hand to be at 60. I'm going to kill you. Stop! 20, 25, 29, about 29 and a half seconds, I'd say. And whoever did murder the old man, and I think it was the kid, he still had to run down the hall and down the stairs, at least one flight of stairs. You see? You see? The old man downstairs may have been wrong on the time, but in view of this, I think it's quite reasonable to assume that he did see the kid run downstairs. So now both time sequences check, the one you did and the one we did. With running downstairs and everything, it did pretty much check out on times. Sure, he's an old man who wants attention. He's probably right, but the old man feels that the way everyone does. A life is at stake. So the story of the old man may well be true, except for the fact that he absolutely swore under oath that it was only 15 seconds. We seem to all agree that it was 25 to 40 seconds later. You are now admitting that the old man lied in one case and told truth in another. I admit that this does tend to confirm the story of the old man, but in part he is now a proven liar. And this is by your own admission. That may be true, that the old man lies in part, but I think it will change my vote once more. Guilty. What about you? What do you think now? I'm not just sure what I think. I want to talk some more. At first I thought guilty, then I changed. Now I'm sort of swinging back to guilty. And what about you? No. I am now in real doubt. Real doubt. I say guilty. I was right the first time. Now we're beginning to make sense in here. It seems to be about 9 guilty to 3 not guilty. One more question about the old man downstairs. How many of you live in apartment buildings? I don't know what you're thinking, but I know what I'm thinking. What's that? I do not live in a tenement, but it is close, and there is just enough light in the hall so you can see the steps no more. The low light bulbs are so small, and this murder took place in a tenement. Remember how we stumbled on the steps? The police officers were using big bulbs, and one even had a flashlight, remember? An old man who misjudged the time by 20 seconds. On this we all agreed. This old man looked down the dark hallway of the tenement and recognized a running figure. He was 100% wrong about the time. It took twice as long as he thought. Then could not the old man be 100% certain wrong about 100% wrong about who he saw? That's the most idiotic thing I've heard of. You're making that up out of thin air. We're a hung jury. Let's be honest about it. Do you truly feel there is no room for reasonable doubt? Yes, I do. I beg your pardon, but maybe you don't understand the term reasonable doubt. What do you mean I don't understand it? Who do you think you are to talk to me like that? How do you like this guy? He comes over here running for his life, and before he can even take a big breath, he's telling us how to run the show. The arrogance of him. No one here is asking where anyone came from. I was born right here, or where your father came from. Maybe it wouldn't hurt us to take a few tips from people who